Hello YouTube, my name's Akan, and this is NovaWave's Moonbase, and I'm here to show you this. This is Beastwars Basics Insecticon. He came out around 1996. He's from the first wave of Beast Wars in the Basics size class, which is directly analogous to today's Legends, previously Scouts, I believe. The size scale just below Deluxes. And he's quite a handsome fellow, isn't he? What do you think? He is a stag beetle, a green and dark blue stag beetle. I don't believe there are any actual stag beetles that are this color, but he is somewhat realistic looking, at least from a distance. Those, as you can see, those mandibles look quite nice. They're very well sculpted. He's got his red eye there. He's got some antennae. No mouth sculpted, but it's definitely implied. And you can see the legs look quite nice as well. Let me show you here the bottom. You can see the robot arms is there as well. But, I mean, this is from 1996. I mean, can't be too hard on it, can you? It's still pretty good. He's from a line, well, he's from a wave where they all had a single common gimmick. They all had the ability to transform using a single motion that was spring-loaded. This gimmick was lost in the second and third waves, but all of his wave mates shared it. Optimus Primal, the Bat Optimus Primal had this feature. So did the Alligator Megatron, or was he a crocodile? I can't remember. There was a remake or a recolor of him as an iguana. And there was also, and of course, Pterosaur and Rat Trap both had this particular transformation gimmick as well. Anyway, enough about them, and on to him, and on to Insecticon. He's fairly well sculpted, as I said. No real articulation in his insect mode, his beetle mode, but he is quite nice to look at, like I said. He's got two play features in this form. He has his wing case, the elytra, as what they're called, can swing open, kind of giving you a sort of a flying effect. No wings sculpted, obviously, because, you know, that would be too difficult to do at this size scale. And also, there's things going on inside his abdomen there, and I'll get to that in a bit. Looks pretty good. Close that up. You can see that the sculpting is very detailed. There's individual lines sculpted. These are not paint. This is not paint. This is tiny lines that are moving around, that are moving from front to back here. Little striations. These are very referential to the actual insect. And, of course, his mandibles. His mandibles are actually connected together by a gear inside, so when you push one, the other one opens up too. They're connected together like that. So he's got kind of a chomping action. You can see how a kid might really like that. I know I did. So even though he doesn't really, his legs don't really move, he does do things in his beetle mode, which are quite interesting. Now, to transform him, like I said, he transforms all at once. And I'll show you this right now. There's a small tab hidden right there underneath this piece of plastic. And if you push down on the mandibles a little bit, you can see that it's freed up. And what's that little white bit there? That's actually his robot mode head. And he's swung almost, well, he's completely transformed, as you can see. Quite a threatening looking fellow, isn't he? He's got ball joints in a lot of places. He's very, very articulated for his size. Actually, I think his articulation holds up even today. He's got articulated elbows and shoulders. He's got articulated hips and knees. And he's got a pin in his ankle that allows his legs to pivot forward and backwards, which, is part of the transformation, but he allows him to stand in some interesting ways, I guess. And that face. Wow, that face. Look at that. He looks crazy. This guy this guy looks dangerous. It kind of reminds me a little bit of Inferno. Got those big teeth, kind of deeply threatening look. Could you imagine what this would look like? You could imagine almost what this would look like on the big screen if he was actually animated. He would be kind of a psycho, and that bug head. Look at those pecs. Yeah, he doesn't look like a pushover. Pretty dangerous looking. And he's got the arms the insect legs that stick off the arms. A bit evocative of Tarantulas and Black Arachnia. They had those as well, and if you remember in the show, they used those as guns. He could shoot from those, which was really interesting. I don't think that's what these are supposed to be, but you could imagine that. That would be an interesting addition to his weaponry. He actually does have a weapon, and I'll show you that right now. If you flip open these wing cases, as I did before, you can see these two green strips. These are halves of a weapon. I'll put that down, and then I'll flip that out as well. There's the other one, and I'll put that down back here. Now, you can see what these things do. It's kind of obvious. There you go. They connect together, and you can tell where this is going. Some sort of crossbow weapon. It's like I guess some sort of energy crossbow. It's got no barrel. But obviously it's implied that the discharge point is somewhere on the front here. A bit like Chewbacca's bowcaster from the Star Wars franchise. Kind of an interesting look. I don't think there are any other Transformers I can name offhand that have a crossbow weapon like this, at least not from Beast Wars. Or wait, no, there are. I just thought of a few. I think some of the deluxe figures have something like that. None of the insects, though. And he can hold it like that. Looks quite good, don't you think? He's got head articulation. He can turn his head. He can look up slightly, look down slightly. He can turn his head almost all... I think he can turn his head all the way around, actually. Yeah, he can. And like I said before, he's quite articulated. He can bend every which way. And when you've got his wings out like this, it kind of looks like he's got a flight mode. It's even implied here with these sort of ventricles coming out of the bottom. It's like it's some sort of a jetpack or flight module. Somewhat evocative, again, of Inferno, but obviously he's nowhere near Inferno's size. He's a little guy. Yeah, he looks good. Anyway, that's pretty much all there is to this. So, I'd like to thank you for watching, and like, comment, and subscribe. Tell me how I'm doing. Was this video too long? Am I rambling too much? Am I not showing enough of the figure? Any feedback is good, in my opinion. Thank you for watching.